What's going on, guys? We do a little chopping test with the bk9. I also have the Camp 10. Do a little comparison, which if follow tack, you know which one won the competition. I've got gloves. I'm not gonna glove up on them. This one I really never have to worry about wearing gloves with it. The handle for me is super comfortable. And if you watched my previous video, you kind of know how I feel about these handles. I didn't mention that I do get a lot of shock out of the handles on the bk9. The Gregory handles, I believe that's what they're on. We'll just do the old tack style 10 chop test. So. We're going to do it right next to it. Camp 10. Pretty obvious who won that one. Yeah, I mean, these are obviously two completely different style of knives, but they're just two of the three large choppers that I have. This was actually the first one that bought this one, or the first one that I bought. Fast Action Blades, he was the one who kind of introduced me to this one, and I've been using the hell out of it since I got it. And like I said in my last video, kind of fell to the wayside whenever I got my Leroy. But with all the shit that's been going on with the Leroy, mine it's still a functional blade, but in the same place where it bent on the first one that I had, where it bent really, really bad. I did have some just really, really minor warping of the blade, which it was so minor that it wasn't even really worth noting. But now that I've noticed that everybody else's blades are failing in the same spot on the 3.5 to 4 inches down the blade, really don't want to take a chance doing any crazy hard chopping or anything with the Leroy anymore on this one. We'll go ahead and get some more wax with the Becker. Some bitch stuck in there. Put glove up on this one. I'm not gonna lie, that did kind of hurt my hand. You'll have to forgive me for the kind of crooked angle. The only way I have to hold my phone up right now is an old fence post that's still on the ground with some rusty ass barbed wire that's kind of wrapped around it, holding it up. I don't have any sort of filming equipment. Any video I've ever made, it's always been off of my phone. So I just kind of got to do what I can with what I got. Really nice back here. This is probably about a quarter mile back from my property. A guy actually by the name of Bruce Willis owns this property. He's a realtor in the town that I live in. I've never seen anybody else back here, so this is where I always come to trying to get away and do some knife stuff every once in a while. Yeah, I mean, that's just, really like this knife, but man, that handle is just, it's got the bird's head or whatever style that's called. It's comfortable as far as, keeping the blade from slipping out of my hand, but the handle, I do get a lot of shock out of it. Not gonna lie, a lot of shock out of the bk9. Which is kind of sucks, but I'm not gonna say that makes the knife suck by any means, because it's a badass knife. You know, pretty much from the moment I saw one of these, I was like, someday I'll have one of those. And you know, it's still a good knife. You know, by all means, a good knife. Well, that's dead as hell. See if I can find something that's not quite so dead. There we go. I don't know if you can hear me or not or see me today. You can see I'm getting some decent curls off of that. That is the one thing that the bk9 definitely has on the Camp 10. The finer tasks aren't as easily done with Camp 10. The really small finger choil that I put on it, and then the flattening out of the backside of the handguard I did, which I guess that's a quillion. Correct me if I'm wrong, anybody, feel free. It kind of helps, but you can do small chops on it like so. You know. Make a spear point or whatever. I mean, it just takes stuff like that off super easy. I did do some. Damn, I think my phone moved. I did do some minor stropping on this blade, and I did run it over a few pieces of porcelain that I have. It did come stupid sharp out of the box. Factory edge was really sharp, but it was more of a toothy sharp, which is good. But I prefer a razor edge type sharpness. Like I said, you know, both are both do well for what they're for. That's the type of edge that I prefer. It's kind of a razor sharpness style edge. See, it's really hard to see that tiny little finger foil that I did kind of put in there, but it's there and it's effective. Even without gloves, I can still do this without cutting myself. This Chinese 65mm steel, I do like it. Obviously, you can see I'm not getting nearly as good a curls with this one as I did with the bk9, which is understandable. You know, this would be more of a chopping style, whereas the bk9 is kind of a jack of all trades, master of none. Yeah, like I said, I do like both of these knives a lot. There are things that I like about both of them. There are things that I don't like about both of them. I mean, that one is just, God's sake, beast of a fucking chopping knife. Really not putting a whole... Damn, I'm moving the camera every time. Let me just swing around and grab this. Let's see if I can hold it. Pretty effortless. I don't know. This is kind of my go-to spot. That was a shelter that I was in the process of trying to make and bit off a little bit more than I can chew. I mean, I still have some ideas of what I'm going to do with it. But yeah, this is just kind of my hangout spot, and I figured, you know, it's a nice day. It's not crazy hot out. Figured I'd come out and do a short video on, you know, two of my go-to big knives. Like them a lot, love them actually. Yeah, let me know what you guys think. Have a good one.